what I'll do is, I was telling Ranjit when we had the chat that today most students, most young entrepreneurs, most people who want to learn something can just Google it and almost listen to the best businessman in the world in the comfort at their home. You can listen to people from whether it was Steve Jobs or Warren Buffett or whoever it is. You can gain their words of advice just from the comfort of your home. So what's the purpose in actually coming here, driving all the way to Ward Place and spending 1 hour of your time to listen to Aelian Gunawardene or anybody else for that matter, from one of the local companies. What Ranjit and I agreed on is, one thing is, this sort of thing can tailor our discussion more to the Sri Lankan market. That is one thing that might be of use to you. Now, number two is that we can actually have a question and answer session where you can actually maybe clarify some of your questions, and possibly I'll try to, or one of my team members will try to answer some of them. So that's I believe one of the things that is beneficial in coming for an event like this. This is I had the fortune the other day, this was sometime last year, to spend 4 nights just with Richard Branson and his wife, and my wife and I. We spent 4 nights in one of his villas in Kenya. I had the fortune to do that, which is fantastic, because every afternoon we'd had lunch together. Every evening we'll have some drinks and dinner together and chat very casually, over 4 nights. And then I had to leave on the 4th night, but he insisted that we stay over 1 more night because he had hired a balloon and he wanted to pilot this balloon. The last time he piloted a balloon, I think he crashed. So this time he wanted to pilot this balloon, and he insisted that we join him. So it was just the 4 of us, and his 3 pilots. He obviously flies in a private jet. So I was not willing to change my flight schedule to come back. So I said, no, I'm sorry, I won't be able to make it, but thanks for the invite. My wife was not very pleased. She insisted that we stay. His wife told us, I suggest that you don't, because he's really erratic. The last time he did this, that I don't even let him drive a car anymore, because you might have read recently he rode a bike and he met with an accident too. So he doesn't drive a car anymore. He's so erratic. That is, I suppose, the eccentricity of some of these entrepreneurs today. So thankfully, I'm not that eccentric, but I've had, because of what we've, I suppose, achieved through life, and because of how God puts us in different places at different times, we've had the fortune to have these experiences, and I hope that these few minutes we spend together can give you all something to pick on. If you all can maybe take one thing back, I suppose we would have achieved something. So what I'll do is I'll quickly run through a basic story of what JET has, how JET was formed, and what we've achieved through the years. And what I would prefer to do is maybe answer a few questions that you all might have. Is that okay? That's all right. So, for those of you who don't know, JET was formed by 3 people. So it was Jisby for the J, Aelian for the A, and Tiron for the T. Today the logo is slightly different to what it was back in the day. Jisby was my brother-in-law. Tiron is my brother. So the 3 of us, one day I decided, I think it's time that we start selling some great wood finishes to the furniture industry. So let's get together and start a company to do that. Tiron was working for John Keels. My brother-in-law worked for a construction firm. So they continued to work in their companies. I had to move out because I was working for Delmich Paints. This was an idea actually I had when I was working there, I was 25, I was the marketing manager of the company, and I took it to my chairman and I told it, actually as the marketing manager, we couldn't reach the chairman at Delmage. So I had to sell the idea to my managing director, who sold it to the board, to say that the country needs a high-end wood finish. Wood finishers are lacquers for wood. And I said, let's go for something better than what the company was making at that time. And of course, Delmage was a very, very large company. There was a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of red tape in making decisions, were very slow. And while the board was very interested in doing it, they took about 6 months and there was no firm decision made. And that's when I thought to myself, if I'm selling the idea to somebody else, and I'm going to sell the item anyway, why not I do it myself, But like most young entrepreneurs, I didn't have a cent with me. So I had to find a way to start the company without money, and I suppose that's a challenge that a lot of entrepreneurs have today. But the idea is that you don't make excuses. You don't let finance be a constraint to starting one's business. Okay, so guys, like I said, 93 we started the company, so mainly to do innovative and cutting edge wood finishes, and to give real solutions to the furniture industry. And then from there we went on to, of course, to the furnishing industry and so on. So the company has now grown to have a varied range of product, and we've not only market in Sri Lanka, but as you would see in the presentation, we've gone into a lot of the neighboring countries, being Sri Lanka, Maldives, Pakistan, and India. That was one of our visions. I suppose these sort of visions came on later on in business. When we sat around like with groups like this with the team, and we brainstormed and came up with visions for the company. And our vision is actually to be the brand of choice in the furnishing and the finishing industry in the subcontinent now. So that's what we really want to do. That's what everybody at Jet believes in and wants to achieve. And these 4 values that we have are very, very important for me personally and for our team. I keep insisting that they are leaders at all levels. Everybody from a clerk to a manager to a director, they're leaders. They have a complete knowledge of the business, that customer satisfaction is extremely important, and we continuously improve and innovate. So these values, guys, the reason that maybe I sort of give it to you off the cuff is something that we continuously every day or every week at meetings, sort of we keep repeating this to ourselves to make sure that it's instilled in our DNA. So the way we started, of course, getting into the market was about disrupting the current way that the marketing was done. That was me, obviously, about 20 odd years ago. On the left-hand side, I was not as fair as the guy on the right. The guy on the right he was the managing director of Sealac back then. He was an Englishman who headed this Italian company, and that was that was our first logo actually at Jet. So designed by my sister actually. So this was I believe at one of our offices then, and we signed an agreement with Sealac, which is even today the global leader, #1 wood finish company in the world. They are owned today by a company called Sherwin-Williams, which is the #2 paint company in the world. It's an American company. In Sherwin-Williams is just about to go through with a deal to purchase a company called Welspar Paints, and once this merger goes through, Sherwin-Williams will be the #1 paint company in the world. So we represent them in Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Maldives, and India. And today, Jet is their 2nd biggest distributor in the world. I mean, I think that is really creditable for a Sri Lankan company to be their number two, sorry, did I say one? No. Number two distributor in the world, the number one being our Russian distributor. And that our goal is to overtake this guy when we get our Indian market really going, because we are now in India as well. We manufacture a paintbrush called Brush Master using DuPont filaments. It's a filament from the US. It's technically perfect for a paintbrush bristle, you know. It's perfect for a paintbrush bristle. So the finish is beautiful. The lifespan over a regular, you know, most other brushes in the market from Harris to whatever is made with hog hair or pig hair. So this is a technically perfect bristle that gives you 5 times greater lifespan, doesn't break, perfect painting and so on. We manufacture permaglaze paints, crown paints, and so on. Did I miss a slide there? Yeah. So we get Armstrong is the ceiling, you know, this kind of ceilings that we do. Crown paints, permaglaze. Permaglaze is the first VOC-free, volatile organic compound-free paint that was produced and sold in the Sri Lankan market. So there is no, you can paint this room while we're sitting here without any smell coming to us, you know. Then we introduced Herman Miller, like I said, in 2012. So all the brands that we do are the best in the market. You know, again, like I said, it's not the cheapest, but it's the best. So anybody who buys a product from Jet, we want to know that that customer will be satisfied. You know, if he's willing to take that decision to buy the best product out there, they should go with us. Of course, like most business, you know, when you make money, you've got to give back to society. That's a basic principle, I suppose, of business. It's something that we believe in a lot. That's why you might see a lot of sponsorships that we do for cricket, for rugby, for tennis and golf. All 4 sports we back in a great manner. Large companies today don't put money behind sport, but we do that because one thing, it gives us a bit of exposure, but mostly you've got to give back and also support the community. That is one. This was another great program that we started. We built a training and a simulation center. It's just here down Model Farm Road on the road to the golf club, where we built it for the College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists to train doctors, nurses, and midwives on how to handle complications during pregnancy. So the idea is to bring down maternal deaths, guys. That was the reason we started that. And I mentioned about the brands that we do. So we have 4 basic verticals. We have the paint vertical, which we discussed now, furnishing, which is the Herman Miller and the Armstrong range and so on. We have a vertical called living, where we manufacture or build apartments and houses. We have started a second project just now, and we're doing 103 houses in Hantana, and we'll do that again, making quality residences. So when we talk to our architects, we don't want to give a customer a regular product again that is out there. We want to give them a quality product. And we have a technology arm where we do a lot of work with telecom, you know. So those are the markets, guys, that we're in. We're in Pakistan, we're in Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Maldives. So don't let anybody tell you that, you know, you cannot, as a Sri Lankan company, maybe look after the Indian market or go to Pakistan or something. So as long as you believe in yourself, you have a great product, you have the right team, there's no reason that you cannot go into any other export market. And also build a brand. For us, the brand Jet is our most valuable asset. So what we tell our teams is, you know, our reputation is what is most important to us. We put a lot of effort into building the brand, but we always tell them, you know, do anything you do, as long as it can. I think it was, I don't know who it was, I think it was Warren Buffett who said, as long as you're not afraid to read about it tomorrow in the newspapers, and not afraid to say that, you know, that was something that Jet did, then you should do it. So if you're afraid about reading something tomorrow in the newspapers, don't do it. You know, so your reputation is something that is most important. Certifications, I mean, from ISO to environment to green certifications and numerous awards through the years. I think every project in Sri Lanka, every project that has come up, we have supplied something to it. We also have innovated an app where we can deliver products that people can order online, or they can drive through and pick it up. They can pay for it online and drive through and pick it up. It's a self-designed website. That's our board. So we run the company today, though it's a private company, like a public company. We have a board with 2 independent directors. We have about 15% of the company have sold out. So these guys have that add to the ethical part of the company. So we put out our annual reports every year. I was speaking to somebody from LMD the other day, and he said, Aelian, you all are the only private company that actually puts out an annual report. He's saying, there are a lot of public companies who, if they can not put an annual report out, they wouldn't. But we, being a private company, even though we don't need to put one out, we do. And if you go online, it's even online. So our growth has been phenomenal through the years. Last year we grew revenue by 38%, profit by 57%. You can see that, and that has been a continuous, improvement, and that's a reflection of the team. You might notice our factory on the highway going down south, just passing Kathuda, you'll see that. And this is our head office just being constructed. We are at this same location, but this new building is being constructed. We'll be moving into this in August next year. So that, guys, in short, is something about JET. It's something about our story. I started business, I think, when I was 12 years old. I remember my mom having financial problems at that time. We had a rampe, sort of bush at the back. I used to cut the rampe, put it on my bicycle, and sell it at the Devala market. So that's how I did things even from then. I tell my team this, when I used to sweep the garden, I used to sweep it with a design. That's the amount of detail that I went to. Even today, some of my guys know that I'm a bit anal about so many things in the office, about the toilets not having one drop of water on the floors and things like that. Everything to be done to perfection. That's what we've tried to achieve. It's not the easiest in Sri Lanka, but we've managed to, I think, achieve it. We're always on time. Even today, I was here 10 minutes before 6. Respect the other person's time, and be prepared. When you're going to do something, because 50, 60 of you have taken the time to come out and maybe listen to me. Hopefully, that you might gain something out of it. So we got to respect other people. At our JET meetings, we insist on this, that people actually be there always 5 minutes before. Nobody can come in late. They respect what they have to do. It's not easy, if everything was going perfectly, we would have been all very much happier, but it's a constant sort of relentless amount of pressure that you got to put on a team sometimes to be the best. It's not easy to be the best and to continue to be the best and hold that position. So, but with that little bit of effort, with the energy that you can actually put out, if you have energy as the owner or the manager or the supervisor, your team after that will have that energy. If you go there, half sleepy, I suppose, for a meeting, there won't be any energy in the room, I suppose. So guys, of course, something I always say, have fun doing it. If you're not having fun doing what you're doing, whether you're working for JET or anybody else, if you're all running your business, there is no point doing it. I suppose your calling is somewhere else. So if you have the energy, you have the self-belief, the drive and the discipline, And if you're having fun doing something, do it, because I'm sure that will make you a richer person.